So it's the 25th of February, it's about 13 degrees Celsius today, which is about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's get into these bees. So straight into the Hornsby hive, as you saw, there's really not a lot happening in the upper box. There's a lot of white comb in this box. So let's pull a frame and see what we find. Look at that, beautiful. So a really good patch of bees here. There's our queen. It's always nice to see her straight up. She looks really healthy. Searching for somewhere to lay. I'm going to take that frame aside. And the reason is, look at that nectar there. I don't want to squash that queen. So I'm going to have a quick look over here. Take this frame out. Put it aside. And so we know our queen's on this side. So I'm going to put her in. And I'm going to put that across there so she's safe, out of the way. Now let's have a look at this next frame we pulled out. Yeah, nice. So they're really looking a lot better than they have been. So happy. Probably don't need to look in the rest of this hive, but it's always nice when you see solid brood like that. So that frame back in, and I'm not going to push that frame over there just so the queen doesn't jump over and then we end up squashing her. I think I'm not going to look at that anymore. I think I know exactly what's happening with this hive. You can see along the edge of that box there's an enormous amount of comb and what looks like honey stores as well. Gently, gently. Our queen could be on that side of that frame. Okay, so we'll squish those guys over. I'm not going to push them tight in the hope that it'll give me a bit more room to take some frames out next time I come. So the white hive too, as you can see, it's got some really nice nectar. The bees here are just repairing where I tasted it. It's absolutely beautiful. There's only 2 frames, but that's okay for now. It's been a really tough couple of seasons here in the bee yard. Last year I left all the honey to the bees because their overwintered stores were just ordinary. And the previous year was very similar. The previous year we didn't get any honey off the bees. So to find a frame of honey in these hives, just one frame, capped, would be quite special. That looks promising, doesn't it? I'll pop this frame aside. Oh, it's almost a full frame. It's getting close. So this is basically a 3/4 full box. There's no full frames in here. We'll take that box off and we'll check out the brood. Okay, so let's get into these guys and smoke them off. They do not like smoke. So I might have called this the white hive before, it's the white hive too. Gently, gently. Oh. Okay, so let's just go straight in the middle of this brood nest. These are obviously a pretty solid hive. Now, if you remember last time, they had an enormous amount of comb built up on the bottom of them. It's probably still the case. Let's pull this frame. Brood looks okay, a little bit patchy. It looks like there's nectar in between these cells. That other side looks fantastic. So I'm not going to go into them anymore. Going to pop that frame back in. Purple hive is 6 weeks on from a requeen. Let's see what our brood's doing. Good amount of fresh comb. Lots and lots and lots of new bees. Really nice. Frame over here out just to see how wide our brood nest is. So I'll pop that frame back in and leave these guys alone. So it looks like we've got a fair bit of action on top of this board. 2 boxes on this hive. The first box, really nothing happening. I'm just going to pull out this end frame first. Oh, it's heavy. So nectar on that outside. Capping this honey through here. Yum. Another partially capped frame. There's nectar all the way down into the bottom of this. So it looks like this is about the same story all the way across this box. So it's filled, but it's just not dried out. I'll drag one of these thick frames out so we can have a look at that. I purposely put these frames in with a gap so that they will draw these cells out a bit deeper than normal, and then you get more honey per frame. Oh, it's heavy. Almost. And the other side. I'm just going to pop a set of frame out of this brood. This is a newish sort of frame. Look at that. Cheeky little monkeys. Let's have a look on the other side. There's another charged queen cell. So now I'm going to have to go through this whole bottom box, making sure we don't have any more swarm cells. Just looking around this edge here. I might even shake these guys off. I might even shake them off to make sure. Nothing on that frame. I'm just going to put that frame aside. I'm going to make this a quick job. Another queen cell down the bottom there. That one looks like it's capped. So we've got capped queen cell. Another queen cell over here. And an open one with an egg in it there. So these guys are about to swarm. I need to find the queen and make a split. This is monstrous heavy. Lots and lots of bees. No, oh, there must be some brood on that. You can just see through here. Honey, lots and lots of drones. Brood. So this queen has come on song because we've got a bit of a flow on. So I'm just going to put an X on this frame. We know that one's got a cell. Give it some smoke. Next frame in. Really nice brood. I'm looking for the queen as we go. I've already pulled this frame, but we're just going to have another look. Well, we're done. Look at that, we're cooked. So we've already had a queen come out. We've already had a queen hatch. So we've probably got a virgin. And we've got another one over there as well. Bugger. Look at those drone cells. Again, here we've got this tool that they're using in Australia to check for varroa mites in the drone brood. All we do is we skew it through our drone brood, and then we tilt it back, and it pulls out drones, and we can see if they've got any varroa on them, and those ones don't. Well, to an untrained eye, those ones don't. Now I'm just going to uncap some more. Again, one there. So what am I going to do about this queen? I might shake this frame off. Last frame. Partial honey. Look at the amount of drones. I can't believe it. Okay, so let's think through the process. The queen, there are virgins in this hive. It's too late. So based on the fact that those two queen cells have been chewed open, I'm too late. I don't want to lose a swarm, but like anything in beekeeping, I think I've just got to leave them alone. So the yellow hive has got a pretty substantial amount of honey in the second box, and looking at the amount of bees and the brood, I'd say they're doing really well. This brood looks really good. There's a couple here that are perforated. Lucky I didn't damage that because that's actually a bee hatching. I'll pop that one aside and just move the smoke up. This next frame looks absolutely amazing. Look at that. So we've got a lot of drones in that bottom. And again, I contribute that to the cell size. Large cells down here for honey, small cells up here for brood, and when they go to lay this out, this just becomes drone brood. So I'm not concerned about that. Those bees really don't like the GoPro for some unknown reason. So next frame in, again, really nice brood. And this last frame here is partially capped. boxes, on top of 2 boxes, but I believe from memory these frames up here are all honey. So we might be lucky, ladies and gentlemen. So partial with some brood, and they're backfilling that brood with nectar. Same deal on that side. So a lot of honey up in this top box, but also some brood. Outside frame, and again end of the brood nest. That's all pollen through there. And the other side's capped with some pollen backfilled as well. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we might have it. A first frame of honey. Oh, do we classify that as a full frame? We might. Let's find out. Almost. I'm sure that's probably dry, but it doesn't fit the criteria. Same deal here. Actually, the queen's not down the bottom, obviously, because this next frame is pretty good brood. I can't see any eggs in those other cells. Looks like they're backfilled with nectar. Again, not totally capped. Whoa, almost. You could extract that if you wanted to. You can see there where that last of that brood nest has been packed full with pollen around the outside. I'm going to say we've achieved it. So after 2 years of toil and trouble, we've finally scored ourselves a full frame of honey. That's a beautiful sight. I think I've caused these bees enough grief. I don't think I'm going to go into the brood nest. The last time I went into this hive, I think from memory, there was no brood and there was a potential virgin. So let's see what's happening. There you go. So there we have beautiful fresh white comb, honey, and lots of brood. So that virgin has hatched she's now laying out a storm. So that's really cool. I might take that one aside. Look at that beautiful bit of brood. I might be wrong. There's a lot of brood in here for a 2-week-old queen. So you might find that this virgin is killed and the original queen's still kicking. So you might remember the last time I went into these guys, I divided them with their cover and I'd been feeding them. And last time I came in here I took out their feeder and I put in these 2 frames. So let's suss out what's been happening on these frames. So look at that. So in 2 weeks they've drawn all that out and started to bring in nectar. And this outside frame, look at that. So they're capping that honey on this side, and there's the old frame, the old brood. So all the way through this hive. Looks like they've recovered, doesn't it? It's amazing what a little bit of feeding and then a little bit of a flow will do for a hive. So all those frames are the same. This has got nectar in here. So I'm really happy with this hive. It's really just taken off. Look at that, another frame of brood. They could almost do with a box, couldn't they? I think I'm going to put a box on these guys. Now this box is in pretty poor nick. It's got some crappy comb. It's got no foundation on some old frames. So we're just going to see how they deal with that. Let's pack it up and move on to the next one. So Orange Hive, looking at the top of this hive, it is absolutely chock-a-block full of brand new comb. So centre frame, top box, no excluder. We've got brood, we've got eggs, we've got larvae. So there's a lot of stuff happening in this top box. We've got emerging brood, lots of pollen, eggs, larvae. And we've got nectar coming in the form of capped honey and fresh nectar. So I think I'm going to have a look at the bottom box and see what that tells me. So the bottom box tells me I'm an idiot. I don't know why I put a box underneath them. did I do that? So queen's obviously up the top. You know, they're travelling through all these frames to drop their stuff off at the bottom, to drop their stuff off at the top box. So let's get rid of that, put this box back where it's supposed to be. Let's take a frame of nectar, which we've got here. Shake that off. Take one of these empty frames. I'm going to put that straight in the middle. Pop that one in there. So I'll just checkerboard it in 2 frames. Put the excluder on. Put that top box on. And now we'll put that nectar frame straight up the top. And I'll spread these out a little bit. Hopefully we get really fat comb if we get any. So in typical fashion, the white hive 2 is absolutely cranking. So many bees, good 3/4 box of honey up the top. And really nice brood. And when you look in those cells, you can just tell that larvae is really, really healthy, really, really nice and wet. And it covers almost the whole frame. I'll pop that one aside just briefly. Let's go for one of these here. I'm not going to muck around with these 2 outside frames. Yet again, my GoPro is overheated, but you can just see this frame here. Really, really nice. And on the other side is a ripper of a frame. So I'm going to pull that box off and we'll have a look in this bottom brood box. So straight into the centre of this brood box. So a little bit of brood there, a little bit of pollen, but this is mainly nectar. And on the other side, same thing. That's pollen, a little bit of honey there. Next frame, really good brood. You know, this hive just never ceases to amaze me. Sure, it's a bit flighty. They're not going for me. You can see here, they're not going for my wrists. But I feel like there's something in the air, a bit of a flow, and that's why they have gone for me before. Another frame of brood with pollen in it as well. Eggs, just look at the amount of pollen all the way through there. More brood, more pollen. I haven't seen any eggs just yet. More pollen in that frame too. Look at that brood, pollen in the centre, honey up the top. Really nice. Now let's have a look at one of these outside frames. Probably going to regret it. Brood, honey. Really nice honey on the outside there. Now I'm squashing bees as well. They're coming at me a little bit, but they're still not really going for me. That guy's eating some nectar on me. I hope you can hear me. And that's, oh, it's pollen bound. There is no room in this brood nest whatsoever. They probably need another brood box, but I don't have any frames left at all. I think what I'll do, I'm going to shake that frame off. That frame's laid out, so I'll pop that one back into the middle. Outside frame, which is basically honey, take that one out. How do I always end up in this sort of predicament with this hive? So I'm going to take out a couple of these empty frames I've got. I'm going to slip them into this brood nest. This brood box back on. Another honey box. I've got these two frames I took out. I'm going to pump them in the top box. Put that on top. So there you have it, guys. We've finally found one frame of honey after 2 solid